Well, man, the NFC and AFC Championship games are here. We only have a couple of weeks left of football at all this year, and then it's on to the stuff that will mean something to teams like mine and yours. Interviews have already happened for a lot of teams that aren't in the playoffs. Some surprise teams fired their coaches. People thought, why in the world are they doing this? Who knows what's going to happen? Maybe someone loses in the NFC Championship game and then fires their coach for some reason. Nothing seems off the market right now. Nothing seems like it's too far anymore. So we will see. But anyway, let's get into our picks for this week. Are you ready?
I am very ready. Let's do it.
All right, cool. Well, everyone, hi. This is We Are the Game. I'm Luke. That's Michael. And as I said, we're going to get into our picks for the NFC and AFC Championship games. And we're going to be using the NFL Pick'em bracket kind of deal here. And we were relatively close last week. We got 3 out of 4 right. We picked Seattle to win, the Rams, the Broncos, but we did pick Houston. And then New England just played a great game and proved us wrong. So as I think Tom Grassi is referring to them, the evil empire seems to have returned, and we may be in for another 20 years of that. So We'll see how things go. So, all right. Now let's get into the first game. Let's start with the NFC, the game that I really don't want to even watch. Seattle hosting the Rams trilogy for this year. It should be really good again. They have posted some really good games. I still feel like if the Seahawks don't turn the ball over, like if Darnold doesn't give the ball away 3 times, this shouldn't even be much of a game. Who do you have winning here?
Yeah, I think you're exactly right. It's like we got to watch them play each other twice this season, and they both. I think the combined total of point differential between the two is 3 total points. Yep. They split the 2 games, so it's like nobody ran away. Like you were pointing out, Darnold had a CJ Stroud kind of game. Sorry, CJ. That game and the first game, and even then it was still close. And then the second time around, I think I was kind of expecting Seattle to really kind of like win, but win with a little bit more authority than they did. So now it's like these 2 teams always seem to play each other very close. On paper, I still look at it and say, this is Seattle's game. And on paper, we also have last week's outcome. We did pick Seattle to win. I did not expect Seattle to win the way they did over the 49ers. It was a complete just shutout. There was a no-doubter in the first quarter, really. And that's a big deal, I think, going into this game. It's a lot of momentum going your way. The Rams had to claw and fight to win that game against the Bears. In a lot of ways, it's like they really just survived. So I think going into this game, Seattle has the momentum. I'm sticking with them. The question mark going in, just to point it out, I guess, or to bring it up, is we were talking about earlier, is Darnold's health. Where's that oblique or whatever all is bothering him? Yeah. How much of an impact is that? But again, and the other thing I think was their running back core. They really just have Kenneth Walker, who, to be fair, looked really good in this last game. But can he carry the load during this game? They're gonna be watching for him. Where's that? But yeah, I'll take Seattle to win this one and end up in the Super Bowl. I know that painful to hear, but where are you at on that?
Yeah, I mean, I'm probably in the same place. There is something of a team of destiny feel that the Rams have right now. They remind me very much so of, at least on offense, of the 2021 Rams, but replaced Cooper Kupp with Puka Nacua, and he is their offense, and that feel has persisted. On the other side of the ball, they are not the 2021 Rams with Von Miller and Aaron Donald and Leonard Floyd and Jalen Ramsey all just being real pains. But they do remind me somewhat of that team. They're going to need to be. And if they can do what they've done and turn Sam Darnold over a few times, they'll have a shot in this game. And Puka Nacua is really hard to stop. So I definitely think the Rams have a great shot at winning this game. But it does feel like the Seahawks they don't need to have a great game. That's what's a little disturbing is they can win having an okay game. If they have a great game, they may win like they played over San Francisco. So yeah, I guess I'd pick Seattle as well. And yeah, I'm trying really hard not to, but yeah, this is life now. Yeah. So okay, all right. Well, let's move over to the AFC Championship game then. We've got the Denver Broncos hosting the New England Patriots. This game looked like it was going to be an absolute monster game for about 5 minutes. And then Bo Nix got hurt, and now everyone's trying to rationalize how amazing, apparently, Jared Stidham is going to be. So I don't know that I'm in that mindset. On the other side of this, the New England Patriots have a few injuries themselves, but I don't think that – well, they obviously don't have anything as significant, substantial, huge as Drake May being hurt or anything like that. So it feels like everything's pushed in their favor at the moment. Who do you have winning this one?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, you already said it. Is this should have been such an enormously great game, and it may still be. But what an emotional roller coaster that game was to watch between the Bills and the Broncos. It definitely had that kind of a Rocky Balboa type feel to it, where they were just going back and forth on each other. It's a phenomenal game to watch. Broncos come out on top, and then I don't think we really even knew at the end of the game that Bo was really hurt, because he was toughing it out on the field. You didn't really notice. It's hard to imagine many backup quarterbacks in the league, I don't care what the team, be able to come in and effectuate a win at this level where everybody's good. The Patriots, are no joke, and we'll talk about them more. But I feel for Stidham. What an opportunity! What an opportunity! Like, you have a chance to make a big name for yourself real quick, if you're capable, if you're able to. But that's a lot to ask. It's a lot to ask. Now, do I think that Stidham needs to do tons to win this game? No, not really. Like, Denver's defense is no joke, even though they gave up 30 points to the Bills. They're a great defense, and I think they're going to provide some opportunities. But you've got to be able to manage that offense. Maybe Stidham's as good as all of a sudden we're hearing about everywhere, is that actually he's quite something. And that'll be amazing to watch. It'll be amazing if that's the way it turns out, but it will be an uphill battle. The Patriots on the other side, the story coming out of that game, of course, that Stroud just had a terrible game. He threw a bunch of interceptions. Absolutely, he did. But we've watched defenders get hit in the hands with balls all the time, and they can't catch them. I think there's something to be said that the Patriots ball hawked a bit effectively in that game and came out of it with that. They applied pressure. They were chasing after people. They didn't let Mixon get the running game get going on the Houston side. And so I think this will be the Patriots' game to lose. I expect them to come out of this with a win. I will admit, though, that it does have a little bit of a feel of like this could be a trap game for them if they overlook anything about Denver. Denver's still very dangerous here, but I do think this should definitely be the Patriots' game coming out of this. Where are you at on that?
It's deja vu. I get to choose between a 2014 Super Bowl or a 2015 Super Bowl. So, I'm not loving either option at the moment. Although the 2015 Super Bowl ended the way I wanted it to. I think I agree with you, though. Denver's going to need their defense to have the best game of their year, pretty much. And they can have some really good games. Everyone's talking about Seattle now, and Houston had this amazing defense. And it's true, but Denver had a top 5 defense as well, I believe. And, they can really put some pressure on a quarterback. So I think if they can put some of that together, they could really shape this game and, keep their team in it. I would think to counter that, the Patriots are going to try to run the ball a lot.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, they've got to keep the score down and keep them in it. They can't be making mistakes on special teams where they're giving the Patriots the ball at the 40. They're going to need a well-rounded game. And then Jared Stidham needs to, pass the ball 20 times and complete 12 of them. Get your team 100 to 150 yards, and then just put them in position to score a couple of times and don't make the mistakes. If you can do that, I think you could be in this game. And that's not to say that Denver doesn't have a really good offense. They've got an MVP candidate. Yeah. But he doesn't play against a defense this good very often. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. And again, if they do a CJ Stroud and they turn the ball over 4 times in the first half, then this is going to be a short an accurate foregone conclusion. But outside of that, I guess we'll just see. But yeah, I would agree with your pick. I can't talk myself into Denver. There's a path, but I just don't think it's very likely right now. So yeah, and it seems like Seattle and New England in San Francisco for the Super Bowl seems rather likely right now. So
yeah,
cool. All right. Well, any final thoughts on these games?
No, I think I expect the Seattle game and the Rams to be a good game. I'm just, I guess, hoping that the Denver and New England one ends up being a good game. At this point in time, that you and I were talking about beforehand that like the Seattle 49ers game, so I didn't even watch all of it because there wasn't anything to watch. Like it was just, it was done so early, and then you keep checking in, and it was like, nope, nothing's really going any other direction. And I guess I'm hoping that at this point, when you only have 2 games a week, you're hoping that they're both good games. So that's my only hope. But yeah, I expect it to come out this way.
Yeah, kind of same. So we'll see. But luckily, we get the better game later, which will be kind of nice. They'll put the Seattle LA game at the primetime spot. It also makes sense that one's probably West Coast, as opposed to the other one being on the East Coast, being much earlier. So that's probably actually why. But regardless, hopefully we'll get some good games because there's not many games left this season. So,
True.
Well, everyone, thanks for joining us. This is We Are the Game again, and we appreciate everybody who's joined us over and over again. And we appreciate a subscribe. If you're willing to do that, give us a like, a comment, and let us know who you think is going to win and why. All those things are great. So, yeah, we appreciate you. We'll see you again when we talk about the Super Bowl, whoever that is. And until that time, I hope that you have a fantastic day.